Hello creative designers, you are welcome to another tutorial. Let's go ahead and create our size. So just go to print, then choose A4. We want the landscape, so go ahead and create. Now I have a few files that I have prepared, so we are going to import them now. These are the files: sky, dark sky, a gradient background, then a flare, and also a rock texture. These are the files I'm going to use. I have put them all in the description below. Please check and download them so that you can use them as well. So I am importing them all. Awesome. First of all, this is my gradient background that I spent time to prepare. So very soon I will post another tutorial on how to prepare this gradient background, but for now go ahead and download and use them. So drag into your project. Hold Shift key and drag to make sure it covers the whole area. Now after that, we are taking our dark cloud. Import that one as well. Make sure it covers all the area. So just scale it up. Now select the cloud layer, then change the blending mode from normal to multiply. After that, select it, go to filter, then go to blur, Gaussian blur, then increase the radius to about 44 pixels. Okay, so this is good for me now. Awesome. Now this is good, but I still want to see a texture in the background. That is why I still have the rock texture here. So I am going to import this as well and add to the background. So let's go ahead and do that. Drag and drop, scale it up, hold Shift key and drag to cover up. Alright, so just highlight the layer and then change the blending mode to multiply as well. Now you can see that the texture is now showing here, and this is how exactly I want it. So I'm going to create some small blur and add to it, and then we are good to go. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur. So this time, because I want the texture to appear, I am going to reduce the radius. So here we have 8.4 and it is okay for me. Now finally, let's add our bright sky. So this one to drag and drop. There you go. Now select the layer, change the blending mode from normal to screen. Then select it and reduce the opacity from 100 to 90. This is 88, not bad. Select it, add a layer mask. Select the layer mask and then pick the eraser tool. Right click. Then you can also use this handle to set the size. Now reduce the hardness to 0. We want it to blend into the background smoothly. Okay, so finally come to this adjustment layer, click on it, then choose curve. Now we are in RGB mode. Bring it down a bit. Good. Now select the green. Remove the green color a bit from it. Select the blue one and increase it. Exactly. Awesome. Now move the bright sky upwards a bit. Go ahead and add a rectangular shape. Change the color to white. Click on this dot to make sure this mark appears here. Right click and choose Distort. Now hold this point and drag to the left. Now if you look at our bright sky here, it is too shiny. So just take the dark cloud and move it upwards above the bright sky layer. Yes. Make some small adjustments. Now I'm going for my image that I am using, so go ahead and import your photo. Add another rectangle. Now change the color. So we are going for a color from this background. Okay, this is good. So click on one of the dots, right click and choose Distort. Now move this to the right. Now you can press and hold the Alt key and use your mouse wheel to zoom in. use the arrow keys to adjust it properly. Now, after importing my picture, this is what I normally do. I have to make sure that the picture looks good. So I go to image adjustment, then I try to brighten it. Yeah, 12 is okay. I add one more effect, vibrance. Yeah, perfect. You can import your logo if you have it. You add your church name or the program, whatever that you want to add. Just go ahead. So this is my logo that I'm using. So I change the font. Alright, so I'm going for this font. Then I change the type to semi-bold. I reduce the size. That thing is okay. Now, if you want to make a copy of this text, just press and hold the Alt key and drag the text, and it will make a duplicate for you. Now double click on it and edit. Alright, so let's drag again and make an editing. Double click. Join us. Let's change the font to, yes, Love Nature, and increase the size to 20. We have Join Us. Now I want this to look beautiful, so what I do is that I just import my lens flare. This flare is very beautiful. Change the blending mode of the flare from normal to screen. Reduce the size. Good. Now let's make another duplicate. And type whatever you type. So I have service here. Let's make another copy. So it is Higher Life Service. Now scale up the service. Let me put this one here for the meantime and work on the service. Now the same font, but I am changing the type to extra bold italic. Awesome. Looks very good. Now I press and hold the shift key and drag it down a bit. This is how I want it to look like. Now go to layer, right click and choose blending options. Now gradient overlay, click on it. Now click here. We are going to make this look nice using this gradient overlay. So first of all, we are going to adjust the colors, starting from this one. Double click, then let's choose this color. The final color that I will get, you see a code here, then you just type in the code to get the same color. Now you see this angle, it is 90 degrees now. Now change it to 1, and you can see that it is now coming from the left side to the right side. So let's go ahead and finish setting up the gradient. Double click, so this is the code now. Now this one too, this is the code. Alright, awesome. Let's increase this size too. We are using this same font as well. Now the service, let's add drop shadow to it. So click on the drop shadow too. Just press and hold the Alt key and use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. So that's what I'm doing now. Now let's change some few settings here. Increase the opacity. Now if you observe what is happening at the background, as I increase the distance, you can see the shadow is coming down. So observe the changes that is happening. Alright, so the distance, keep it at 32, the spread 26, and the size 0. Now black color is selected, the blending mode is multiply, so you can as well increase the opacity. Since the background is already dark, if you want it to be more visible, then you should increase the opacity. Okay, this is perfect. Now select the higher life. Right click and go to blending option. Now here we are going to keep it as white, so there is no need to go to the gradient overlay. So only the drop shadows, then we can keep the default settings. The same shadow that was set for the service is the same settings that have been kept and we are using for the higher life. Now select the service. Now go to character. Keep it somewhere -10. Let's decrease it to -25. Yes, to -50. Yeah, I will take -50. Do the same thing for the higher life. -50. Awesome. Now duplicate the lens flare here and put it right here. Place it here and increase the size. Now go ahead and put the service time. So we are picking our rectangular shape. Then the color, we are choosing the color from the gradient. So we are picking a color from here. Now click here, right click and choose skew. Hold this side and drag it to the right. Now add the service day and time. So let's make the bold italic and increase the size to, we have 44 here. Let me make it 42. Yes. It's okay now. Okay. Select layer. Now select this shape that we have created. Add layer mask to it. Then choose rectangular mark tool. Now once the layer mask is selected, we can cut any part that we want off. So we are going to cut some part of the shape. Yeah. Then hit the delete key on your keyboard. So select Ctrl+D to deselect. Now make a duplicate of the Sunday and add the time. Double click to edit. Change the color to the color that we have there. Okay. Reduce the size to fit in perfectly. Now let's add the name. So we are going to add another shape. Now this shape is going to take the form of this color that we are having here. So go to properties and then pick this color. Now as you can see, the shape that we just put has come above the white background here. We don't want it that way. It has to go back. So what we have to do is that go to layer and make sure this shape layer is below this shape layer. So just look for it and drag it downwards to make sure that it comes under this layer. Now go ahead and add the venue and the numbers that you want to put there. So we are almost done. So this is the venue. So just add another shape to it. Change the color to the deep blue color that you have already used. Use the arrow keys to adjust it properly. Okay, so go ahead and put your numbers here. Always use the arrow keys. So we have come to the end of the tutorial. Make sure that you comment below. If you have not done your subscription yet, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel and also share this video. See you in the next tutorial.